So to be honest, very basic, very just you understand the basics here. So if we look at these two angles here, and I know we're so used to always the parallel lines going this way, but they can go any which way, right? So this is my transversal, and along that transversal, as it's cutting through lines, we have angles formed. And now we're focusing on these two, which seem parallel. And now we know for sure because alternate exterior angles, okay, are congruent. That's all I need to see there. If you went A, E, congruent, that's fine. Right? We know what I know what you're talking about. I actually gave you that, right? In this case, right here we have corresponding angles are congruent. So that's why we know these lines are parallel. In this case, we have that the consecutive interior angles, they add up to 180 degrees, right? That's how we know these lines are parallel. CIAs are equal to 180, that's fine. And here we have alternate interior, right? Alternate interior angles are, in this case, congruent. That's what we want, right? So all four names showed up here, right? So we were able to justify that. There we go. So half a mark for each because it wasn't a whole lot of work there. So no minuses, I guess. And then here, find the missing angles and we'll justify, right? So you kind of start your journey like this angle right here and this angle right there. I don't know if you noticed, but they're corresponding. And we know, I don't know if you saw that, right? That we're told lines are parallel. So we can count on those, that every single property of them is true. So this would be 60 degrees, right? And then you can just go corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. To find y, I know that these are right next to each other and they're along that straight angle right here. So y will be 120 degrees. And I will just use straight angle is equal to 180. Okay. Sorry there. So y is taken care of. I got that. And then z, you can either use vertically opposite, right? Because these two are vertically opposite. If this is 60, so is this, right? So you can go 60, and then you can go vertically opposite angles are congruent, okay? You can use straight angle again this way. It's up to you. Sometimes I tell you you cannot use one more than once. So then you would be forced to using vertically opposite. Or what else? What are these two here? Alternate exterior. Yeah, so the options are many, right? So it doesn't just have to be done one way. Okay, I'm okay with that. So I would say half a mark for the correct number, half a mark for correct explanation for each one. So that's 3 marks total, right? And now solving for x. Space was a little limited, right? But I know that these two are supplementary, right? You should see that. They're not equal to each other, right? You can see it by the diagram. But what we know is that 8x plus 1, if we took that angle and we added up the other one to it, and they're in brackets, right? We know that that sum has to be 180. Okay. If you have this set up, I would give you 1 mark. That being said, if you don't have it like this, then it's a -1, right? If you said they were equal to each other, that would be a -1 for me, okay? So because everything is positive here, I'm just going to add my x's, right? 12x, and then the values, the constants, that would be plus 12, and that's equal to 180 degrees. I'm going to go minus 12 on both sides. That leaves me with 12x is equal to 168, and then dividing both of them by 12. Is that 14? Yeah? 14. I don't have the key in front of me, so technically this isn't degrees. If you don't have degrees today, that's fine. Okay. So the correct final answer a 1 as well. So 1 and 1. I'm going to change the way this is distributed in terms of marks, right? So 2 marks for this side, and this other side, this angle and this angle are equal, okay? So 3x plus 25 is exactly the same as this angle down here. They are just expressed differently, right? But they're the same. The justification here, if I asked you to justify, would be alternate exterior angles are congruent, right? That would be the justification for setting it up like that. Over here, you would say that straight angles add up to 180, right? That would be your justification there if you needed to justify that. And I like to bring stuff over. So I'll bring my x, this one right here, I'll bring that over to the other side. So it goes 3x minus 4x. And on the other side, right, I have a minus 5 already there. The 25 comes over subtracting. So you end up with negative x is equal to negative 30. And you divide by negative 1. X is equal to 30 degrees. And now you could go back and plug it in and find any angle you wanted, right? Like 4 times 30, that's 120 minus 5, that'd be 115 degrees for this one, if they had asked you for it. But I told you to stop here, so you're good. So I would say 1 mark for setup and 1 mark for correct final answer. If your setup is wrong, I go minus 1, and then assuming you did everything else right, you'd still get 1 out of 2. Right? Same with this side. So it's not 5 marks, so get rid of that. This is 4 marks, right? So we're going to go 4 for that section. So 4, 3, and 2. Right? 4 marks for this last one, 3 for the middle part, and then 2. That's a total of 9, right? So we're going to make this worth 9 marks. So if you go all the way to the top, you make it out of 9. And so make sure your name and last name is on there. And I will correct it, or I'll record it and give it back to